About 5 or 6 years ago, I hitchhiked here and ended up stuck out in the middle of this place. Climbed up out of the freeway. This little old black man comes up to me and my friend with our backpacks and about $10 between us. And he goes, "You know where you are? You in the jungle, baby. You're gonna die. That's a true story, that ain't no lie. So welcome to the jungle, Ritz." You bleed to the jungle, take it day by day. If you want to comfortably, it's a brand new day. You're a very sexy girl, very hard to believe. You can take the bright light, won't be there for free. In the jungle, welcome to the jungle. Be my serpentine. I wanna watch you scream.
When I saw you in Verona, you sat down, I moved over. Pretty people, but all I saw was you. And yes, it's you I'm raiding.
Guys, burn down, attack and stuff.
In my opinion, he isn't right for you. And if everything goes as planned,
you can stand.
Okay. Don't kill the Simi, don't kill the Simi. Okay. Go for Brutix, they'll run if you've killed our Loki.
He'd over heels in love, I fell. She likes listening to punk rock, melancholic in the black frock, and she smiles when she sees me, intoxicated by a company splendid lady, lazy Sunday afternoon. Good fortune at the bar.
CO9 now, CO9.
CO9 20.
When I saw you in Verona, you sat down, I moved over. Pretty people, but all I saw was you. And I remember feeling tongue-tied as I tried to say goodbye. I was ready to fall in love with And she smiles when she sees me, intoxicated by your company. Splendid lady, lazy Sunday afternoon. Good fortune at the bar. Corona, oh nah. Corona, oh nah. Corona, oh nah. Corona, oh nah. Corona, oh nah.
Hey guys, this is Inverted, and today I want to talk about the Loki. In this section, I want to go through some of the fits and explain how I've gone to the pretty unusual fit I'm flying at the moment. Fast forward about 10 to 15 minutes if you just want to watch more PvP. I started experimenting with the Loki after getting bored with the Orthrus. Looking around for similar ships, I thought combining dual range bonus webs with DPS sounded pretty strong. Unfortunately though, the Loki racial weapons projectiles are pretty weak at the moment. However, the Loki does have a fairly average missile offensive subsystem called the hardpoint efficiency configuration. When you combine that with the augmented capacitor reservoir, you can get 4 launchers, 2 turrets, and a 40 M3 drone bandwidth with an 80 M3 bay. So this is the fit I was using in the micro warp drive part of the video. And I think this fit is, it's not incredible, but it's okay. So it does 500 DPS, obviously on paper, but the dual webs on your target helps all of that other DPS that isn't your rapid lights to apply really well. It gives you 3.3k a second cold with snakes and links. And it has an alright burst tank. You're not going to perma-tank much for long. As you can see, it ruins the capacitor, but it'll get you out of some sticky situations, as you saw. I think the greatest thing about this ship is that not only does it shred light tackle by itself, just like the Orthrus, but it also means that the rest of your fleet can become anti-tackle machines with those 63km bonus ranged webs. So I flew this fit for maybe a month or two and started to feel like the price didn't really justify the performance. It was really susceptible to being forced off by any nullsec blob with the ability to project DPS. The other thing is, when you compare it to an Orthrus or a Rapier, I just felt like you weren't getting the best combination possible, and it was just better to use like one or the other. So I went back to the drawing board and I came up with this fit. Now obviously it looks pretty janky. It's a heavy missile, 100 MN, active tank, armor Loki. Now I know that must sound like complete AIDS, but just hear me out. So let's talk firstly about the DPS. Now most people would try to use projectiles over the seemingly awful hardpoint efficiency configuration subsystem, but the power grid requirements just don't allow it. Let me show you an equivalent Loki fit that I tried to put 720mm artillery on. As you can see, it just doesn't work. You have to use all of your rig slots for power grid enhancements, and it still doesn't fit. With the reduced power grid requirements of heavy missiles, you can make all of the things in this fit work. This is not a Caldari cruiser with the traditional gimped power grid requirements, so you're getting all of these things in one. You're getting an active tank, 100 MN afterburner, and DPS. Obviously the split DPS is not ideal, but you have to make some sacrifices, I think, to get all of those things on one ship. So going into the specific weapon subsystems, let's talk first about the artillery. If I turn all the other DPS off, you can see it adds about 60 DPS, which is not incredible, but it does all add up with this fit. You have to make sure that you're transversal matching and your target is dual webbed to make sure it applies, but it is doable. But against smaller targets where your missiles aren't going to be applying too well, it can actually be pretty good to have some direct damage on there because it will hit, provided those two conditions are satisfied. Let's then move on to another significant part of the DPS, which is the drones. With your target always being dual webbed, I feel like the optimal configuration is 2 lights and 3 mediums, and it gives you about 120 DPS. Now, yes, it is a bit unfortunate that such a large part of your DPS comes from drones, about 25%, because they can be defanged. They have no HP bonus on this ship. But that problem is mitigated by the fact that you do have 2 flights. You have an ATM-3 drone bay, and because you have 2 flights, you can do resist hull damage switching. The drones really help on smaller targets like Scepters and T3Ds. So let's then move on to the main weapon system on this fit, which is the heavy missiles. Now obviously the 3 launchers are awkward. I'd love to get a 4th on there, but if you want a 5th mid, you just can't do it. You trade the 4th launcher for your 5th mid, and you need the 5th mid to run an active tank with the capacitor bonus, the dual webs, and a point. Now obviously heavy missile launchers aren't the best weapon system in the game right now, but as I keep saying, if your target is dual web, they're actually alright. Now, even with dual webs though, you're not applying the best to smaller targets, so you have to always try to use the right ammo type. For T3Ds and Scepters and ships of that nature, use Faction, and for anything larger, you want to be using Fury. Always make sure with the heavy missiles that you're using the ammo type that's going to hit their resist hull. So now I want to show you some video demonstrations of the DPS from this ship, just to show you that this 430 DPS isn't just theoretical DPS, and it actually can apply in a real combat situation. So let's start with the Malediction, which is probably, or any Scepters, which is probably the worst opponent for the ship in terms of actually applying DPS. You can get the artillery to apply if you transversal match, which I'm trying to do here. But as you can see, the drones are doing most of the DPS. The missile DPS isn't applying incredibly, but he's not going anywhere, and you can kill this guy in about 30 seconds or so on the basis he has max skills. Let's then move on to a much better frigate opponent, which is a micro-warp driving shield frigate, like the smallest navy. As you'll start to be able to see here in a second, using the correct ammo type again, correct drones, you do start to really shred ships like this. You see, look here, you're applying really well, like almost full DPS with your missiles, and he's just getting wrecked. Finally, let's look at how we apply to the Orthrus, a really common nullsec opponent. As you can see, speed dropping, applying full DPS to him already. He's not going anywhere. Look at that. Missile damage is applying, artillery is applying, the drones are ripping him, and he's going down super fast. The Orthrus I'm shooting is a rep fit, so he could be repping this right now, but after that he is toast. Let's then talk about the tank. As you can see, it's a little bit unusual. You're rocking both a medium and a small armor repairer. And I think this is actually becoming a bit more common these days on 100 MN afterburner ships, because you can just get so much value out of a small repper if you don't have the power grid requirements to fit two mediums. As you can see, with armor resist links and popping improved exile booster, assuming no side effects, you can get 200 rep out of that small repper and be totally cap stable. If you get put under a bit more pressure, you can turn the medium repper on, go up to 530, and you're still stable. And then you can heat for about 2.5 minutes and go up to 680 with close to cap stability. You combine that with the incredible damage mitigation of 100 MN afterburner, especially if it's heated, and you're just going to be shrugging off a lot of DPS. As you can see in the videos, I'm just orbiting most of these blobs, applying webs, applying DPS, and just being a massive nuisance. And they throw everything they can at me, and there's very little they can do. Let's move on to the mobility. Obviously it's 100 MN, and it does pretty good speed with that, with links and snakes. 3K is pretty much micro warp drive speed. Okay, it's not as agile as some other 100 MN ships, but it's still pretty good. A lot of that comes from the fuel catalyst subsystem, which gives you that bonus to afterburner speed. Now, in the current meta, I feel like the 100 MN ship is really strong. Firstly, you're Hic-to-Scram immune. You'll see in some of the videos they try and Hic-Scram me, does not matter. And you're also pretty much immune to the new anti-subcapital capital weapon systems like fighters and high-angle weapon systems. Then let's talk about the dual webs. Obviously, we're rocking the immobility driver subsystem to give us bonus web range. And like I've said before, you're hitting out to 63 kilometers with heat. I've primarily discussed the webs as a way of making the average weapon system on this fit apply properly, but that's really just the beginning of what you can do with these dual webs. It just gives you such incredible control over the ships on grids. And the possibilities are endless. So you can screen off tackle, you can mess with anchors on nullsec blobs, you can stop a ship gate crashing, you can mess with a cap chaining logi wing trying to move around. You can simply lock down a juicy target while you clear the field of other threats. So if you can really see the grid and not tunnel vision like I sometimes do, you can do some amazing things with the power of these dual webs. So let's bring all these factors together and talk about how I see this ship being used ideally in a combat situation. With this ship's unscrambled 100 MN afterburner, its staying power, its damage, the damage sponge it provides, and its DPS, I think this ship should be played aggressively, dominating the middle point of a grid between your gang and that of the opponents. You can play it offensively or defensively in this position by screening off tackle if your gang is pulling back, or locking down targets if the enemy is retreating from you. I feel like the sweet spot for this ship is in gangs of maybe 1 to 5 pilots, where you don't really have the numbers for dedicated logi or rapiers or hugans. So with that, I want to wrap up this section of the video. I've talked for way too long already. Let's get back to some PvP videos.
You need to get rid of the fucking...
Holy fuck!
Quick.
There's loads of
Oh yeah.
Everything on the rapier?
Yeah, we're gonna kill the rapier next. Rapier's the prime point. Yeah, hit guys, hit. Is the broadsword bothering anyone?
We're all 100 men, right?
Hurricane fleet issue.
It's really sad.
Guys, keep on that rapier, keep on that rapier. Eat it if you can.
Okay.
Start webbing this phantasm crew.
vet inte killar, eller vet man.
Jackson typ nu.
Gotta lose that on the button.
Just a moment.
I've got webs, of course. I'm gonna point the Proteus. I'm just getting the Proteus pointed.
You can do it, but there's no way they're gonna try to kill it yet. Probably nothing, I guess.
We're gonna kill this guy, man. You just use C, just use C.
Carrot lost leader.
This is so satisfying. Fuck these guys.
Yeah.
Iron box here. I'll do the carrots. Saber coming in. Get that saber, get that saber.
fucking shitty fighters. Deimos now, Deimos now.